Welcome back, traders, and let's go ahead, jump right in and get started. So the concept I talked about before the intro and disclaimer show up time and time again in the markets. Let me just quickly prove that to you. Here we have the pound dollar, and on the pound dollar, what has just happened? We talked about trend continuation levels happening whenever the market breaks through a previous support level, and then it is likely to come back to that support level and use it as what? Resistance. Previously support, comes back through, becomes resistance. And this is actually a part of one of the strategies I'm going to show you guys in just a second. But this is the first concept we talked about. What happened right here on this market? We have a big drop, right? Well, with this big drop, let's look left, excuse me, stumbled on my words. Let's look left and see what was there. Oh my goodness. As I said, time and time again, previous resistance, the market plays around for a bit. When we make it back up to that previous resistance, it becomes resistance. This is exactly like what I was showing you before the intro and disclaimer. The simplistic version of this shows up time and time again, but there's a few different strategies that you can apply to this, a few different techniques that make it wildly profitable and wildly more accurate. And that's what I'm going to show you now, is go through a few of those strategies. So let's jump right in. What I want to see, or what could happen, is this market could push down. If this market does push down, this area is an area I'll look for possible long trades, okay? We're going to start off first here on the euro dollar, and this is where I'm going to teach you the first support and resistance strategy that makes this concept wildly more profitable. And that concept, that strategy, is using this for reversals. Let me explain what I mean by that. Here we have a market, the euro dollar. And what has this market just done? So this market recently was in a massive uptrend, right? But right now what we've done is created a systematic higher highs approach right before creating a lower high and a lower low. This is a 1, 2, 3 move is what I call these. And this move indicates a possible reversal. What am I going to do when I see that reversal? Well, I'm going to look at this previous level of support for possible trend continuation in that reversal, because that's when you can capture the biggest moves. If you're somebody that's looking for enormous profits and you're okay with about a 50% win rate, this is one of the best types of strategies for you to try. And before I get the questions in the comment section, this type of analysis is going to work for any market and for any time frame. So let's go over that one more time. We're looking for possible reversals. How do we spot those? You can use a moving average. This is the 50-period moving average. If the market breaks below that, I look at my previous level of support as resistance for trend continuation to the downside in this case. You can use this 1, 2, 3 move I just taught you. The market creates an impulsive move down as our 1. A pullback is 2. If we break below that low, creating new lower lows, then we have a possible reversal into a downtrend. I don't know if you noticed this. I did the N lowercase because capital N's really confuse me. I know that's weird. I'm slightly dyslexic, and a capital N, I always draw it backwards, so I didn't want to put you through that. But here we are on the euro dollar, and what I want to do now is share with you the analysis moving forward. What am I planning to do based on the concepts you've learned so far in the video? Well, I'm planning, if this market gets back to my zone, to look for possible short trades out of this zone to the downside. This is my exact analysis and exactly what I'm looking for based on the support and resistance reversal strategy you just learned. I'll be looking on smaller time frames. This is strategy number 2. Use a higher time frame to point out your structure levels and look for entry reasons, stops on a smaller time frame. Entry reasons and stop losses. So the place where you get out because you know you're wrong, look for that on a smaller time frame. The place you enter the market because you have that perfect entry reason, look for that on a smaller time frame. Find your levels on a higher time frame. So on the euro dollar, my exact analysis here is I'm waiting for that pullback into our perfect zone for our reversal strategy, waiting on an entry reason, and I will be going short on this pair if I get those things, if all those things line up. Now, we did analysis, and we're going to break down the analysis we did last week on all 5 of the top major pairs, all top 5 of the major pairs. Starting with the euro dollar last week, we said that this level could act as support, and it did. From this level, the market came into this zone before completing our 1, 2, 3 and closing above previous support, And when we got into this zone, we had a nice push higher. I'm not going to play a clip of that, but if you'd like to see last week's video, it'll be in the top right-hand corner of the screen. But that's the analysis we had last week. This week, what we're looking at, I've already said, the possible trend continuation from here. If the market continues down or we do get that trend continuation, I'll be looking right here on the euro dollar moving forward into next week for possible long trades. The reason, quite simply, is because this is the most previous level of structure. Get ready for strategy number 3 that's been tested multiple times. So what are the 3 strategies we have so far concerning support and resistance that you can take and use to get some extremely accurate trading opportunities? Well, first off, trade support and resistance in reversal situations. A great way to capture a big move is waiting on a reversal like we see happening now on the euro dollar. Second, look for higher time frame support and resistance levels. Do your trading on lower time frames. And third, make sure if you're looking at counter trend levels, if we get down to this level, will we then be in a downtrend? Yes. If we get down to 1.1447, between that and 1.1391, we will officially be in a downtrend here on the euro dollar. If we're in a downtrend and I'm looking for counter trend support and resistance levels, then I'm looking for levels that were tested and reacted to multiple times, at least twice. And that's what I have here on the euro dollar. So that's why you see this area here. If we somehow continue in this trend and the market does not cooperate with my analysis, then I'll be looking around this area. You can read the numbers for possible short trades on lower time frames, looking for entries. This is another counter trend level. If we look left, it's a major level that's been tested multiple times by price, and our resistance level here you can see tested multiple times as well. And those are the 2 resistance levels I'm looking out for in the weeks ahead for this market to hit. I'll be trading short trades from those 2 counter trend levels.